Hi there, viewers. Today, I'm joining a conversation with Ray, who is inviting us to the Ottawa Book Expo event for authors who are resident in Canada. Ray is here to talk about the event, how you can participate, who it is meant for, and how the event has been a great asset to authors resident in Canada and the literary community at large. So welcome on the show, Ray.
Oh, thank you very much, Peter, for having me on your fabulous show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Awesome, good stuff. So I'm definitely look forward to sharing information to the authors out there, publishers, anybody who's curious or interested or wants to get involved in our Ottawa Book Expo event, which takes place August the 26th to 28th, Lansdowne Park in Ottawa, but we have opportunities for people to become virtual exhibitors as well.
That's great. Thank you so much. So Ray, the Ottawa Book Expo event is coming up on the 26th, 27th, and 28th of this month. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to be an amazing event for authors in Canada. You know, for writers who are not familiar with the event entirely, and especially with people who are just getting to hear about Ottawa Book Expo event for the very first time, could you tell us about it? What is the Ottawa Book Expo event?
Yeah, awesome. So fabulous question. So yeah, Ottawa Book Expo event is an opportunity for authors, writers to be able to showcase their book. We invite both, the mainstream publishers, but in particular, independent authors who want to showcase their book because a lot of times they don't have an opportunity. I mean, there's millions of books being published, self-published every day at Amazon, and many writers don't have an opportunity to connect with readers about their book. So our Ottawa Book Expo is an opportunity for local writers as well as writers who are from all over the world potentially to either showcase the book in person or to to showcase, present their book, and as well also for publishers as well, because our not-for-profit mandate is to promote literacy. We also have a charitable mandate to help eradicate homelessness. So we're a not-for-profit event. We're free admissions. So we try to be as accessible to the public, to people who want to connect with authors and publishers out there.
That's great. That's great. Now, I also want to ask you, what kind of authors are expected to be in attendance? Is there any age restriction whatsoever? And is it only open to authors in a particular genre, or it's a kind of a general sort of invitation and event?
Yeah, so we invite both, nonfiction, fiction, all genres of writing to participate. There's no sort of restriction in terms of the genre. So we try to be sort of very eclectic. We also try to be very culturally inclusive. I've gone to some like book fairs and stuff like that where you only have one representation of a certain demographic, whether there's culture, race, or age. So we try to be all inclusive in terms of ethnicity, culture, race, gender experiences. We try to invite everybody together as authors and as publishers, so people who come to the event can expect a very eclectic event. They're not going to be seeing like authors who are just in one particular age group or another. They'll see diversity throughout the event as far as participants.
Yeah, that's great. I love the sound of that. Now that we've known about the Ottawa Book Expo event, for authors who would love to be there, how do we go about it? What's the registration process like? Is there a payment to be made, or it is absolutely free?
So as far as there's an application process, so they would go to ottawabookexpo.ca. That's ottawabookexpo.ca, or they could just Google Ottawa Book Expo. They would go to the application form. We try to keep costs as affordable as possible, but because we have to be paying rent and all sorts of expenses, insurance, et cetera, we have to recoup our expenses. So there's a fee. There's a cost associated with having a booth at the event, but we try to be respectful of people's budget as much as we can while being able to pay our expenses.
Yeah, that's great. I love the sound of that. Now, Ray,
Yeah.
could you tell us about the Ottawa Book Expo event? Could you tell us how the Ottawa Book Expo event has been of great impact to the literary community and authors resident in Canada? What benefits would authors tend to gain by attending this event?
So authors who participate, the idea is to, because I find a lot of authors, they, particularly the self-published ones, but they write their book and they spend years, and then they get frustrated. How do I market my book? How do I reach? Because when you just publish your book on Amazon, the average writer on there apparently self-publishes, sells more copies, no more than, I believe, an average of 6 copies. I mean, that means that there's some self-published authors who are very good. They might sell hundreds of thousands, or they might sell tens of thousands. But there are many that just sell like 1 or 2 copies. So coming to the event is an opportunity to show your book, to be able to connect with readers. Wow. And those authors which take the time to market themselves,
Absolutely.
I find they definitely have the most success than authors who just self-publish their book, think their work is done, and you just let it sit in Amazon, expect people to know about it. So we, as much as possible, try to help authors who are very self-motivated that way, give them free tips, encouragement, and because their success is our success. So we try to definitely help us motivate and support writers in their ability to be successful, rather than just struggling artists who spend all this money on their book and can't get it marketed. We're also good for even authors which are from mainstream publishers as well, because publishers don't market your book automatically like they used to in the old days. They expect that if you, after they publish your book, you as an author, I heard that before some publishers won't even take on your book unless you have 100,000 Twitter followers. So that's quite a lot. So you have to do the marketing unless you're like some famous person like former President Obama or somebody like that, then everybody knows about him, so his book will fly off the shelves. But if you're not somebody like that, then even if you're not famous, you're gonna have to spend time going to book fairs and other opportunities like this in order to get your book out there and get people buying your book.
Yeah, I love the sound of that. It sounds quite amazing to me. Now, could you briefly share with us the history of the Ottawa Book Expo event? Is this the first time you're hosting such event, or you've been doing it in time past?
The kickoff event was in 2019,
Wow.
October. So that's when we had it, and it was a great success at that time. And it was canceled during the pandemic because of public health regulations.
Yeah.
So we're back in service since our initial start in 2019.
Wow, that's great. That's fascinating. Now, I also want to ask, is the event strictly open to authors in Canada alone? Can authors resident in other countries attend the event, or it is specifically for authors resident in Canada?
Yeah, so authors are welcome to come to Ottawa if they want to attend the event in person and market their books that way, or if they don't want to make the trip all the way to Ottawa, they can sign up for a virtual exhibitor booth, and then they're able to participate in the event remotely. And a virtual exhibitor booth, what it includes on there is that we put your photo, we put your biography, we put links to all your social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever else social media pages you want.
Yeah.
Your book cover is then linked to your favorite book retailer sites, as well as we can put links to articles about you, reviews of the book, and then other type of information like that. So the virtual exhibitor booth we create for authors. We create them for authors who are attending an event or not able to attend the event. It's like a mini web page to enable authors to market themselves and for people to see. We also embed a video. We also interview authors to participate in the event. So we embed their interview that we had with them along with the other information to help boost their sales, and it's like a mini website. So that's what we do for authors who can't attend or authors who do attend and want to have that virtual exhibitor booth for their online presence.
Yeah, I love the sound of that. I love the provision of the virtual aspect if the physical way cannot go on. Now, apart from
Yeah.
promoting literature, books, art, and authors, what are the other advantage of this event?
Yeah, so the advantage is, another advantage is networking. When you have a booth, you're able to meet other authors, discuss challenges they face,
Oh,
share experiences, connect with readers more, see what they liked about your books, get feedback and stuff like that. So it's an opportunity for a lot of social networking, connecting with, there will be media there at the event for authors who want, and we promote we help authors with promotion, connecting with media, whether it's TV, radio, or online. So networking, promotion, free tips, and all kinds of different numerous advantages of that in terms of, because we try to be a cut above other book fairs. Like I've gone to different book fairs, many of them, these smaller independent ones, they you sell their book, but they don't help you much with promotion. You just, or you go, and the book fairs I really don't like are the outdoor ones, like I won't name the event, but we went to one in New York City that the tents blew off all over the place. It's an outside event. They just started blowing like 3/4 through the event, and our event is inside. So authors come, they have a temperature controlled building. They don't have to worry about rain on their books. It's blown away in a tornado.
wow.
So that's the advantage of going. So we try to provide a much more enhanced experience rather than just coming to the daily event and selling your books or whatever. We try to promote the book author before the event, during the event, and after the event, so they get more value from their participation.
Yeah, that's a very good method. I love that. And I love the sound of that. Now, aside the Ottawa Book Expo event coming up this month, will you be hosting another auto event in the future time?
We hope to be able to host another event, but since this is an independent event, we always look to, the feedback of authors. We launched this event based upon the feedback from the previous event.
Oh.
So if we get the positive feedback that we anticipate we will get from this event, then it will likely be another event, but all that depends on the, what goes on with this pandemic business, because we've had an opening now and don't know what's going to, hopefully the pandemic is completely over, but we'll see how that goes in terms of any more event closures. So right now we have to be watching the public health situation to be able to plan out future events, so we don't plan one too far ahead and then it gets canceled, because that's not always a disappointment for authors and participants.
Yeah.
So we anticipate that there will be another one, but the timing of that, we'll have to wait and see how things go.
That's great. I love the sound of that. Now, what other things would you love the viewers to know about the Ottawa Book Expo event that we haven't discussed in this interview, and I'd just love the viewers to know?
One thing which I kind of touched on before is that we want every people of all different backgrounds, diversities, to be able to want to participate and reach out. We're a not-for-profit event. We're not like the typical book fair that they experience. So we try to make sure that any author who participates and gets involved, we exceed their expectation as far as providing the community-oriented service that we strive to provide each and every author an individualized experience, at the same time, one which enables them to network and to able to have value from their participation socially and professionally. So that's our goal. We invite anybody out there to check out our website or Google us on Ottawa Book Expo. We are a multilingual event where we have a French website for anybody who's French speaking out there, salondelivre.ottawa.ca. So we have a part of the bilingual cultural experience in Canada as well as being multilingual. So we invite anybody out there who are curious about us, authors, publishers, editors, just the curious members of the public, to check us out. just in case you might have a friend who wants to participate either in Ottawa or remotely as a virtual booth exhibitor. So we just invite anybody curious to check us out, contact us, and we'll endeavor to reply to you back in a timely manner.
That's great. And I did left a link in the discussion part of this interview for authors who would love to register for the event. Thank you so much, Ray, for coming up on the show and for talking about the Ottawa Book Expo event.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Peter. And I look forward to any comments or queries from your viewers. Thank you very much again for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.